Used to keep it cool, used to be a fool, all about the bounce in my step. Watch it on the news, what you gonna do? I could hit refresh and forget. Used to keep it cool. Should I keep it light, stay out of the fight? No one's gonna listen to me. If I write a song, preaching what is wrong, will they let me sing on TV? Should I keep it light? Is that right? Way up we go. Been up and down that road. Way up, oh no. We gon' burn the whole house down. Watch me standing in line. You're only serving lies. You got something to hide. We gon' burn the whole house down. We gon' burn the whole house down. Yeah, used to let it go. Walk into the show, gawking at the tricks up your sleeve. Too good to be truthful. I'm in a room full of entertainers and thieves. Used to let it go. Oh no. Way up we go. Been up and down that road. Way up, oh no. We gon' burn the whole house down. Watch me standing in line. You're only serving lies. You got something to hide. We gon' burn the whole house down. We gon' burn the whole house down. Should I hang my head low? Should I bite my tongue? Or should I march with every stranger from Twitter to get shit done? Used to hang my head low, now I hear it loud. Every stranger from Twitter is gonna burn this down. Way up we go. Been up and down that road. Way up, oh no. We gon' burn the whole house down. Watch me standing in line. You're only serving lies. You got something to hide. We gon' burn the whole house down. We gon' burn the whole house down. We burn it down. We burn it down. We gon' burn the whole house down.
Turn your magic on. With me, she'd say everything you want to dream away. We are legends every day. That's what she told me. Turn your magic on. To me, she'd say everything you want to dream away. Under this pressure, under this weight, we are dying. not in this way. I'm a dreamer, die by light of day. Gonna hold up half the sky and say, only I own me. Now feel my heart beating. I feel my heart underneath my skin. Oh, I can feel my heart beating. 'Cause you make me feel like I'm alive again. Oh, you make me feel like I'm alive again. Turn me magical. And me she'd say everything you want to dream away. Under this pressure, under this weight, we are diamonds taking shape. We are diamonds taking shape. If we've only got this life, this adventure, oh that and if we've only got this life, you get me through The look in your eyes, or is it this dancing juice? Who cares, baby? I think I wanna marry you.
All right, everybody, we're going to get this night started. If you will find a seat, welcome, welcome. Hopefully you all got some dinner. There's a little bit left over there if you want to grab it. Thank you to all of our entrepreneurs who had booths around the perimeter. Nicely done tonight. Let's give it up for our entrepreneurs. Welcome. Grateful to be here tonight. We're holding this in the Boulevard, just for everybody's information. This room right here is called the Boulevard. We hold corporate events and wedding receptions and the like in here. This room is a for-profit portion, generates profits to help pay for the nonprofit incubator. So that's what the Boulevard is, just FYI. Help spread the word. It helps us cover our expenses on that side. Welcome tonight. We have an incredible speaker. Thank you for braving the rain. Nice job. Wait, where's bicycle guy? There you are. Come on, stand up. This guy arrives on a bicycle. Let's go. Soaking wet, pulls up on a bicycle. That's dedication. All right, our guest tonight, dynamic Jess Toolson. I was hiking the Y last summer, and I pull in and I park next to this very pink vehicle. And it says Mixhers all the way across it. I'm like, I'm going to find her. Because of iHub, I'm like, I need her connected to all of our female CEOs at iHub. So I go hiking up the mountain, and you could tell who Jess Toolson was. And I said, stop. And she's like, oh no, who is this guy? And I said, hey, incredible success, nice job. This is what iHub is, and I need you to come in and talk to our female CEOs. So unfortunately, it's on the night of a downpour, but thank you to those of you who braved to be here. Jess started Mixhers back in 2019. This came from work on her own, trying to find a balance for her own hormonal situations. She ended up creating some herbal supplements that eventually turned into what is Mixhers today. But this all started out from work on her personal journey. Hey, have you created anything for the men's hormonal balance yet? Okay. 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 Men, just go ahead and drink Mixhers, okay? Anyway, Jess, meteoric rise. She's nationwide. This the flagship product is Hertime, but Mixhers is now multiple different products, nationwide, growing like a wildfire. But Jess is all about community. She doesn't believe in the scarcity mentality. She's all about there's plenty of business and plenty of room for all of us. So awesome human being, awesome CEO, incredible business. Let's give it up for our speaker tonight, Jess Toolson.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. I'm so grateful I get to be here. Do you want me up here? Okay, I'm like, this feels very formal to be alone all the way up on this stage, so I'd prefer to be down here if that's okay. Okay, I first love to ask this question. Have any of you tried Mixhers products? Oh, hallelujah. What are some of the products that you've tried from Mixhers? Just yell them out. Yes. Yep. Men love greens. Men love greens. Hertime is our first product ever. What else? Anything else? Yes. Okay. Thank you. I love hearing that people have tried our products, and also I'm always open to feedback. So if you have not enjoyed our products, I'll be waiting over there after, and you can tell me why not. Okay. So as mentioned, I am the CEO and co-founder of a local business called Mixhers. And you maybe have seen some of our billboards on I-15 if you haven't tried our products. Maybe you follow us on social media. Hopefully you've seen us somewhere, or I've been spending a lot of money and doing a really terrible job if you haven't seen us somewhere. So tonight, I am very excited to get to speak with you and share a bit about my startup story and my why. Thank you. That was kind. And my why behind Mixhers, but also when I get asked to speak, I love to focus on the actual journey that I have been through, because I know that for me, when I have attended events, I'm going to learn something. I want to hear the real story. I don't want to just hear people's highs and just hear about the successes. Yes, it's inspiring, but also it's incredibly defeating, because that is so far from the experience that I have had personally. So I promise tonight you will leave here knowing a bit more about me than just the success of Mixhers. So I do feel like in order for any of you that don't know about Mixhers to care about what I'm going to speak on tonight and what I'm excited to share, you do want to probably know a little bit about who am I? Who is this woman that's standing in front of you taking an hour of your night. First of all, thank you for being here. I know that everyone at least has 5 other places they could be tonight, and you're choosing to be here, and so I feel like we're already friends, and I'm grateful to get to connect with each of you and get to share the evening with you. But Mixhers is an incredibly personal story, and I do attribute a lot of our success from Mixhers through women relating to parts of my story, parts of my co-founder's story, or parts of our team members' stories. And really, all of us are humans just going about our life hoping for real connection. And we all experience a lot of life feeling very isolated, lonely, busy. We're in a hustle culture. And I think for women, it's so incredible to feel an actual, genuine connection from one human to another, and then it's incredibly unique to feel it from a human to a brand and still feel friendship. So I am a mother. I have 3 kids that I absolutely adore, and honestly, they're a lot of my why behind Mixhers. They are a driving force for me. I have identical twin daughters that I'm like, they are going to truly grow up, I hope, knowing that they can accomplish anything they set their minds to, and that they have a mother that has hopefully paved a path that makes some parts of their journey a little bit easier. But also, I'm hoping to raise a son that is seeing a different dynamic. He is seeing a mother that is aspiring to accomplish great things, wants to be an incredible leader, wants to contribute in the community, and also I want him to see that his mother has a seat at the table with a lot of other great people, and that he can feel that that is more normalized. I spent 10 years, sorry, this is so, I'm not trying to make it so echoey, but I lived over in Europe for 10 years. And that's actually where my kids were born. I had my son in Italy. Nightmare experience. Barely survived that. Felt like medieval times. Survived it somehow. And then I had my identical twins in Malaga, Spain. I learned so much throughout those years that I can honestly say has been contributing to my skill set that I'm having to utilize running Mixhers. And there's also just a lot of stress that comes along with being an entrepreneur. Who relates to some stress, right? And I learned really well how to adapt and move and be quick on my feet and face new challenges every single day when I was moving to an entirely new city in new countries every 10 months. So for that, I'm incredibly grateful because I feel like you build endurance for stress. I'm also a leader who I genuinely believe in anyone can start exactly where they're at. I have had a team of mostly women. Men, I do not get male applicants, so I end up with a highly female team, which we do love, but just know that men are welcome. I have had women that have contributed to the success of Mixhers having 0 work experience. I have had women on my team that have put together marketing campaigns at the age of 19 years old, driving hundreds of thousands of dollars. And it has been so incredible for me to see that if you take a chance on someone exactly where they're at, and if they have confidence and they have the willingness to try new things and be a go-getter, it honestly can pay off and be the most impressive thing. I also have 0 work experience before Mixhers. I never worked a job other than teaching toddlers a dance class. Thank you. I don't know if that's worth applauding for, but I just have to say, I went into Mixhers completely blind. Completely blind. When I say I've been learning on the go, I mean literally showing up every day, learning something new as I go. I've never managed a person. I've never managed anyone. I've managed a household, which is like managing a team of 30, I think. But life can give you so much experience, and there's so many lessons to learn in everyday life that can apply to the success of a business, and I believe in being an entrepreneur. So, Mixhers. Why did I start this? Did I know what it could become? Where do I think it's going? The only reason I started this business is because I had a personal experience with a formula that changed my life. I had no idea how to sell a product. I had no idea how to manufacture. I had no idea how to market something. I didn't know how to start a website. But I had an experience. I was postpartum with my twin daughters. They were about 2 years old when I started experiencing terrible PMS symptoms. And a lot of times when I'm speaking and there's men in the room, I feel like sometimes there's this thought of like, oh, okay, her story's not gonna be applicable to me because I don't relate to PMS symptoms. I think that's incredibly false. I know that every single man in this room has witnessed a woman that he cares about struggle with PMS symptoms and has wanted to know how to help. All of you genuinely care about the women in your life. And so I know that the story of Mixhers is something that you will be grateful to have heard so that you can help support the women in your life. So I started experiencing symptoms that would last up to 2 weeks of every single month. I felt like I was bedridden. I was experiencing bouts of depression, was not depressed all the time, but had bouts of depression, really low energy, had terrible hormonal acne, a lot of painful cramping, bloating, migraines, and when you're living with that for 2 weeks of every month, the 2 weeks that you're feeling normal feel incredibly fast, and it's not long enough. And before you know it, those frustrating symptoms are back, and it just feels like you're getting spun around in a dryer, and it's frustrating. I started trying all different sorts of solutions. Changed my birth control who knows how many times, spent thousands of dollars trying to help my skin, skincare treatments, all different medications, tons of ibuprofen, Tylenol, nothing was helping. Finally, I had a conversation with a woman who is now my co-founder, Cody Sanders. And it was one morning. She was my personal trainer. I was home in the summer. I'd come home for about 2 or 3 months in the summer. And I showed up one morning to a session with Cody in a full face of makeup at like 7 a.m. Now, if you want to wear makeup to the gym, have at it. I don't want to wear makeup to the gym. I was only wearing makeup to the gym at 7 a.m. because I was humiliated about my complexion. And I even had my face down at the gym all over my cheeks because I didn't want to put my face up and have everyone see my cystic acne. If you have struggled with cystic acne for your complexion, male or female, you know how much it can change your confidence, how much it can change your ability to feel like you can look at someone in the eyes for a conversation, and you're almost willing to go through any pain internally because people can't see it, and it's embarrassing to be struggling with something that people can see on the outside. So this morning, I just sat down on the bench, and Cody's like, okay, Jess, ready? And I just started bawling right in the gym. I'm like, I just had enough. I felt so insecure. I was a 25-year-old woman, just really struggling with confidence. And I just was so emotional, telling Cody how awful I felt, how embarrassed I was, and that I just felt so defeated. Whether your story or your situation or Your experience is exactly the same as my PMS symptoms. I think that a lot of us have had a feeling at some time in our lives where we just feel really hopeless. And you feel like you've really been putting in all the work. You really feel like you've been trying to help yourself. You've been willing to try anything. You've committed to finding solutions and nothing is working, and it's so frustrating. And I know that most of us can relate to finally having the right conversation with the right person that can change your whole life. And so Cody asked me, she's like, Jess, have you had your hormones checked? I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, well, your hormone health. You're probably struggling with hormonal imbalance. I'm like, what is that? I've been to the doctor who knows how many times. No, I haven't had any blood work done. I don't even know what you're talking about. She's like, oh, this is just so frustrating. This is how I can help you. I want you to try something different. So Cody gave me a Ziploc baggie with a bunch of capsules in it, straight from her bag, and said, if you're really desperate and you've really been trying everything, then you know what, I know you think I'm crazy, but give this a try. She was mixing these Chinese herbs in her home, in her kitchen, and one by one encapsulating this formula and giving them bag by bag, Ziploc bag by bag, to just women that she cared about. Her daughter, her neighbors, her nieces, and just wanting to help women with their hormonal health. Cody's a holistic health practitioner, which I had no idea what that even meant. She was an herbologist, couldn't have cared less about what that meant, but she had spent years studying the power of Chinese herbs and had created this formula. So she told me, commit to this for 90 days, and at least you will have tried. It's exactly what I did, and within the first month, I felt a complete shift in my health. I had a menstrual cycle that was completely different than I had experienced for years previous, and by the third month, I had a menstrual cycle that simply came and went, was a normal 3 to 5 days, had no breakout, didn't have any cramping, no bloating, and I finally had what is actually what we're supposed to have, which is a normal menstrual cycle. Women do not even know, myself included, do not even know that a period is actually not even supposed to disrupt your life. You're not supposed to have symptoms. Symptoms is your body screaming at you saying, nutrient deficiencies, we're low in this area. It's all this different communication about your health. I had no idea. So that formula changed my life, and I went to Cody and I said, can we start a business? Can we take this? I know that there's so many women in my life that I've related to one-on-one having hormone health or these issues that are the same as mine, and how do we get this into the hands of many women? So we set off trying to start a business, and my goodness, I had no idea. I think had I known, I don't know that I ever would have started. Does anyone relate to that feeling? Had you known how hard it would be, would you have actually even started? I don't know that I would have. So I set off on a journey starting to figure out, how do you manufacture a product? Well, first of all, to manufacture a supplement, you have to be ordering hundreds of thousands of units. So not only are you trying to find a manufacturer, who's ever tried to find manufacturing of anything? Oh my gosh. We all know that there's MOQs, and then there's we all know the pain. So I started getting manufacturers that were happy to help us, but obviously they were expecting me to order in quantities that there's no chance I could afford. But I found one manufacturer. He's like, I'm not gonna be able to blend your stuff and package your stuff, but I can order you the ingredients, and I think you can afford that. Months later, I get a call. Hey, your ingredients are here. I'm like, great. Okay, what do I do now? He's like, well, I don't know, but I've got barrels and barrels of all these Chinese herbs in my warehouse for you, and you need to have them out by tomorrow. I'm like, what do I do with barrels of Dong Quai and ashwagandha? So you figure that out and you go to the next step. You call your neighbors, you call your friends. Do you have a spot that I can warehouse some barrels? And you just keep going one step in front of the other. Finally, we had a manufactured product. 2019, in the fall, we launched Mixhers. And we started an Instagram page because that was something I kind of knew how to do. So we started Mixhers, and really that was how I even figured out marketing. And I think something, as I've said multiple times, is that had I known how hard it would be, I don't know that I would have started. Also, had I known all that I didn't know, I don't know that I would have started. Because I think I maybe would have been too embarrassed that I didn't know anything. That I didn't know. I didn't attend college and take marketing courses. I didn't finish with a finance degree or an MBA. So there's so many things I had no clue how to do, but I had no idea what I didn't know. And so I think something that I love to tell people is that every journey is also so incredibly unique, and because you're unique, no one can tell you the exact steps to take. Even the most perfect course on business is not going to be the most perfect course for your success. And so I think leaning into how unique your journey is, and also for me, it's been a lot of intuition. I've learned now a bit more about actually doing some data analysis. However, up until about 2 years ago, I was running Mixhers solely off of intuition. And your intuition is pretty decent. As I mentioned before, truly I think being a mother and knowing how I have learned to care about emotions of my children, care about people, care about other people's success, I genuinely think that that has been a large part of my success in building Mixhers to this point, because I have needed to lean into other people's knowledge and care about other people's desire to have a successful career, for them to care about helping me build Mixhers. And it's been something where I honestly think motherhood is what has taught me the most about leadership. Last point on this, and I'm going to tell you more about the Mixhers story, is we all know the saying: comparison is the thief of joy. If I were to stop and stand back and look side to side every day at all of the competitors in the green space that I have, it would be enough to just put me in my grave. If I were to stand back and look side to side and look at all of my sleep competitors to our sleep product, it would be debilitating. Hertime and a few of our other products are unique, which is great. But you will also build a brand completely different than anyone else will build their brand. Promise. If you let your personality shine through, if you choose to make decisions based off of truly what is unique to you, I really think it sets you apart from competitors. And consumers find the brand that speaks the most to them. So I talked about Hertime. 2019, we launched Hertime. Hertime, still to this date, is our most powerful product. It is helping tens and tens of thousands of women per month. We have launched an extensive product line since 2019. And today, you get to hear one of my favorite stories in the last 6 years, which is the story of this product right here, which it was her love, then her pleasure, then Mixhers libido. I'm gonna take a quick drink. Did I just hear someone say, I like that? Most people do. Okay, so this was about 4 years ago. Mixhers was still baby. In the first year of Mixhers, when I launched Hertime, I did $80,000 in revenue. Year 2, $800,000 in revenue. And at this point, I'm in year 3, okay? And our customers, these women, were seeing great success in using our product Hertime. And women started coming to us and saying, okay, you've completely changed my life with Hertime, and I have all these other health issues that I want support with. Can you help with my libido? There is so much guilt and shame around women and their libido. I promise you, women want to be having sex. They want to have a great sex life, but there is hormonal imbalance, which also impacts their libido. But we all think it's about the woman needing to do more, needing to be more, all the things. So we decided we're gonna be the brand that figures out how to help women truly regulate their hormones and positively impact their libido. We went to our manufacturers. Cody, the same woman that formulated Hertime, was like, I have the perfect formula. We need to use maca root, we need to use fenugreek, we are gonna help women so much. Go to our manufacturers. We wanna launch a product called Her Love. This is the formula, this is how we want it. They're like, we want nothing to do with it. You're gonna destroy your brand. It's not classy. Women are gonna lose trust in Mixhers. Women do not wanna talk about this. We won't run it. We won't manufacture this product. I'm like, well, this is the great part about being in business is we can submit the PO and we can pay for the product and you get to manufacture the product because you're not my business partner. Cody and I believe in this product. And we want to run this product. Thank you for the input, but we're going to move forward with it. They were so negative about this product during the entire formulation process. Just every step along the way. Terrible. Honestly, now I know I should have changed manufacturers. I didn't know. We finally get the product. We're like, okay, we're ready. Whew. Who knows how this is going to go, right? Are we gonna make all of our customers upset like they're saying? Are women gonna hate this? At that time, it was me running all of our social media. I asked a few questions. People gave us some input, but I'm like, okay, ready, set, go. Launched the product, crashed our website 9 times within the first hour. I thought I bought enough product to last at least 6 months, sold out of it in about 6 days. And I can tell you, women do, in fact, like and appreciate having a brand that will help educate them on their hormone health and also help normalize what they're feeling and teach them how to get feeling better. And this product, along with Hertime, has been a top seller ever since and has sold millions and millions and millions of dollars. And women swear by it. Thank you. And the reason I like to share this story, and there's a lot of other things I'll share with you about this because it's really funny, but like I mentioned earlier, that this whole entire product line genuinely was me being an entrepreneur, making decisions for my brand based off of my intuition. I didn't have softwares. I didn't have all these fancy ways to pull data from my customers. I didn't have Qualtrics. I didn't have all the things. I was just making this decision based off of some messages in Instagram and my intuition. So I just love when people stay in tune with their own intuition and their own beliefs in what they're building. So fast forward, Her Love. It's incredibly great. We love it. Women are loving it. I open my mailbox one day and I have a letter. I'm like, okay. Letter to Mixhers, attention, Jessica Toolson. Great. Open the letter. I about keeled over and died. A letter from Trojan, a cease and desist, saying that they were suing Mixhers because we were infringing on their registered mark of their product called Her Love. It absolutely terrified me. I thought that was going to be like, I'm like, everyone's on to me. They've caught on. They know that I don't know what I'm doing over here and that we're just figuring it out as we go. Like, Trojan, you win. Like, this has been a fun ride. Got to shut the doors. I get this letter and it terrified me. Called a mentor of mine and she's like, you've made it. That's what tells you you've started to make it, is the fact that anyone is even noticing that you're naming something that they're intimidated by or that they're paying attention to or that they have anyone even searching for you. It's fantastic. I'm like, oh my gosh. Point being in sharing that, you put people around you that continue to position you in the right direction. You put the wrong people around you. She could have told me, you're right, Jess, this is too scary. I have no clue what you're gonna do. I don't know. And all the negativity can have you really doubt your journey and have you want to be done. However, you put the right people around you, you get the right contacts, you get the right attorney to call and say, I don't know what to do with this letter. That's what I did, got it all solved, they went away. They gave us a year to change our name to Her Pleasure, and now we had to change again to Mixhers Libido. However, the reason for that name change is because over the last 18 months, Mixhers went through an entire company rebrand. And we changed all of our product names to be exactly what the product does due to some customer confusion on our products, like Her Power. What does Her Power do? Is it a stimulant? Is it a pre-workout? No, Her Power is actually a nootropic, so now it's Mixhers Focus. So, I also, while I keep talking about intuition, I also truly believe everyone that is setting out to chase a dream has to have an immense amount of courage. But is courage easy to come by? No. I love that you just said that. No one teaches it to you. But you know what gives me courage is waking up in the day or in the morning and deciding that I'm going to face that next day and showing up somewhere and seeing that there's other people that are choosing to do the same thing that also are probably wavering on if they feel courageous that day or not. But you know what also helps me is keeping a routine of things that I can depend on, that I know I'm going to do, that I know I'm going to accomplish, that I know I'm going to be capable of completing, and that helps to continue to develop, I think, endurance and having courage. There's a lot I could go into here, but I know I'll go too long. So, I believe that this is the perception of business. When you see someone launch a website and throw up an Instagram page, you're like, off they go. They went and did it. They have it all figured out. My friend that just started this business a year ago, they're so far ahead of me. They have no idea what I'm going through now, and their sales are coming in, they're streaming in, they're making so much money, and this is the perception. We all know this is completely inaccurate, right? But it's so easy to think that everyone else is having this journey except for us. I can tell you that this is actually what my journey has been like, and also, these low points aren't low enough. They need to go below the screen, if they could. But I think the more we normalize this, and the more we normalize talking about these low points, it's not because we're admitting that we're weak, or it's that we're admitting that we're not knowledgeable, or that we are incapable of success. I believe talking about these low points helps people around us know how incredibly capable we are because you've overcome it. And when you're able to talk about these low points and talk about problems that you solved, you are inspiring so many people around you because they've either faced that problem or are going to face that problem, and they're going to be so incredibly grateful that you were willing to talk about your low points, and that you were willing to talk about discouraging times and talk about times that you had to pick yourself up in the morning when it's hard to get up and you have no courage and you're still choosing, okay, even though I have no clue how to solve this problem today, I'm going to choose to take one little bite out of it again today and see what I can solve. That is what I believe is the most inspirational and helpful thing to everyone around us and yourself, is in these low points, you gain so much strength to overcome the challenges, and the next challenge feels a little bit easier, and you continue to catch a stride. So, some of our low points. We have had so many typos on packaging. I don't know why this is such a Mixhers weakness, but it is. Has anyone got a Mixhers product and had typos? Thank goodness. Oh. And we have had an experience time and time again where this feels like the most embarrassing thing for everyone to see. But here's a story really quickly about this product called Hertime that I launched called Hertime. Women wanted a sleep product. Women don't have a problem falling asleep, they have a problem staying asleep. Women can fall asleep because their day has been so incredibly exhausting. However, the second that a woman wakes up to go to the bathroom and then tries to get back in bed and fall back asleep, right? To-do list, what do I need to finish? Who do I need to take care of? What meal am I going to cook? All the things. So women were requesting a product that would help them fall asleep but stay asleep. Off we went. Mixhers gets ready with an incredible formula. We're so incredibly excited. It's absolutely delicious. Nighttime sleepy chocolate drink. Every single time you submit a PO for a new product, I feel that it's one of the most terrifying things to lock up that much cash and put it into something that you are passionate about. But will anyone else be passionate about this? Because even when you've done all the tests and done all the polls and asked all the customers, you don't know if they're actually going to convert until they put in their credit card number. So it's always like roulette. So we put in a PO for this sleepy chocolate drink. I get thousands and thousands of bottles. I am so excited. At this time, I was no longer running the social media, but I was still overseeing our Mixhers influencer program. And honestly, Mixhers has been able to make it to the point that it has been heavily from influencer marketing. It's one of our strengths. At this time, I was driving from door to door, delivering Hertime, I thought, her nightly, to every single door of influencers that I knew. Going from door to door, cute PR box, give it to my friend Anna. I've already been to maybe 15 other houses. Anna, does anyone follow Anna as the worst? Kids are the worst. Okay. So I give it to her. She opens the box. She's a great friend of mine. She's like, "Oh, honey." I'm like, "Anna, what?" She's like, "Well, you see it, right?" I'm like, "See what?" She's like, "Oh my gosh, no one's told you." I'm like, "Told me what?" And she's like, "Jess, it says Hertime on the bottle, not her nightly." I had submitted a PO for quite a lot of product with labels that in the biggest spot said Hertime. You can see it right here if you come up closer. Said Hertime on every bottle. I thought I was doomed. That was the most embarrassing thing. How on earth am I supposed to recover from this? At this point, I have thousands of customers. We are supposed to look like we're super professional and we have this great team over here, but really it's like 5 of us just pretending that we're like knowing what we're doing. And we're supposed to have editors. I'm the editor. Supposed to have all these processes, have 0 processes. So what do? My first thought is, I have to pay for all new packaging. I have to pay for all new labels on thousands of bottles. And that means I have to delay the launch, which means I have to put more cash into this product to get the labels. And it means that I'm going to go longer without recouping this cash. I'm like, oh no. And then I call another mentor. It's actually my brother. Cody, I'm sobbing. There's lots of tears behind Mixhers. If you haven't cried, male or female, running your business, teach me your secrets. Plenty of tears. I am so embarrassed. What do? Everyone's going to be on to me. Everyone's going to know that I didn't pass this through any editor. I don't have an editor, all the things. He's like, Jess, everyone buys Mixhers because they actually like the story of Mixhers. Like they like your products and they're changing their lives, but like people love the story and they like when you bring them along. And I'm like, okay, what do you mean? He's like, well, tomorrow just tell them the story and just own it, that there's a typo all over. I'm like, oh, okay. And then I like got off the phone. I'm like, is he crazy? Like, does he not even care about what I'm going through? Like, he thinks this is funny? It's not funny. Anyway, the next day, I'm like, okay. I get on our social media. I'm like, hello, friends. I'm Jess. As you all know, I'm the founder, the CEO over here. Also, I'm a woman wearing about 72 different hats. And here's our brand new product that I can't wait to launch today that has a massive typo on here. And it's still a great formula. It's so delicious. You are going to sleep better than you've ever slept in your entire life. But your first bottles are going to say addictively. And I'm incredibly sorry. This is a little embarrassing. But who of you has an embarrassing story about typos? Flooded. DMs, emails, going crazy. Oh my gosh. Last week, I sent my kid's principal this email that was supposed to go to my husband, and I sent my sister-in-law this picture that was supposed to go to this person. I sent my mother-in-law this text that was supposed to go over here. I sent, in this program, I spelled something this way, and it had cuss words all over this program. I mean, the stories were hilarious. We shared the stories for days, and again, that product sold out in 2 weeks, and I had bought enough of that product that I thought would last me a year. And it's because, I genuinely stand by this, it's because women, not all of the people that bought that product actually needed help with their sleep. We sold that product because women appreciated so much seeing that there's other humans that are making simple mistakes, that are finding ways to laugh instead of being embarrassed because they've made a mistake and they're embarrassed. But if someone else can laugh, then can I laugh? And then can we connect? And you know what? I really like this story, so now I want to buy this sleep product, and now I'm going to try the sleep product. And so the reason that I share these stories about these low points, it's because at the time, it literally does feel like that is what is going to be the end. And I have to say, some of the mistakes, it's really painful when they're really costly. I've made those too. But I have learned that really nothing is going to stop your business unless you decide that you're going to stop your business. No one can dictate that for you, that your business is not going to be successful unless you dictate that your business is not going to be successful. No mistake, unless it's way too expensive, is going to dictate that your business is going to be unsuccessful unless you are not willing to fight and fight and fight and fight your way out of that mistake. I've made mistakes that cost my business millions of dollars. You put trust in the wrong person, making incredibly expensive decisions, and you can open your eyes 6 weeks later and your business can almost be completely in the ground. But guess what? As an entrepreneur, you are the fighter. And you dig yourself out of that and you fight and fight and fight your way back. And I've overcome instances like that. So the highs, great, fun. The lows are where my favorite stories are, because those are the times that I've had to truly learn resilience, courage, and keeping up with the fight. This is one of my favorite quotes. Courage is telling the story of who you are with your whole heart. I have found that to connect with customers, to connect with my team, to connect with my children, as I'm explaining to them what I'm building and why, when I'm sharing my story with my heart and looking for genuine, authentic connection, that's when I truly feel like I have the most love, the most support, the most excitement for my business. So, thank you for letting me be here tonight. This is a way you can find me if you want. Mixhers is here local. If I can be of support to anyone, please reach out, let me know. And I'm now turning it over to a Q&A for a few minutes.
I've got the first one. Do you now misspell every new brand you launch? It's an incredible strategy.
I know. I honestly have debated that. I'm like, should we start having more typos?
Yeah, that was brilliant. Who's up?
I wish it was part of the strategy.
Questions for Jess? I applaud you for the courage. You're just so real and open and honest. Love that about you. Incredible trait. Please. Oh, there you go.
Hey, thanks so much for your insights. Especially, just so relatable how, it can be such a grind sometimes. But my question is, you said that influencer marketing was a really big key for you. Was that the case early on in the beginning? And if so, how did you start to get traction with influencer marketing when I feel like all these influencers want a huge initial payout when I would just want them to start along with me? What's the strategy to that?
Influencer marketing from the start of Mixhers to now has completely changed. Completely changed. It's flipped on its head. However, I would love to let you know that influencers feel that as well. A lot of influencers that helped build the brand and have actually, I have a woman that's done $1 million in revenue for Mixhers. One woman. One influencer with a 10% off code. She now can barely get an audience to convert. And so for her and for influencer marketing, not as a whole, this is not a blanket statement, but for our program, influencer marketing has completely changed for the influencer as well. I have to say, learn straight from me, you do not pay. You do not pay upfront for an influencer to work with you. You keep trying and you keep messaging and you keep searching for the influencers that will buy in on what you're building and be passionate enough about it to actually post about it for free or for a commission, because you get a completely different type of sharing than when you're paying someone up front. And I can tell you, the ROI on paying influencers is not there. So for us, still to this day, it is DM after DM after DM. It is literally sending hundreds of DMs per week to get about 2% of them to reply. And so I'm sharing that because it can also be the most defeating feeling like none of these people care about what I'm doing. Everyone thinks it's dumb. No one wants to use their voice to help me. I promise you, you're not alone in getting no responses. You're not alone in going on red. It happens to literally all of us. And so keep going. You will find people that are willing to share for free or for a commission. You do not spend your hard-earned money and dollars on influencer marketing upfront.
Am I here? Okay, there we are. I hope this question isn't too niche of a question, that there are more people in this audience that can benefit from this, but it really resonated with me that you started, gosh, with a young family. Oh my gosh. Excuse me, you guys. And that's the position that I'm in right now. And we're just getting ready to launch, and I have 3 young babies. And I think a lot of my worry is getting completely absorbed into business and outside of family. Oh man. Mm-hmm. But so I think I just am asking, what's your advice? Young kids, young family, other priorities. How do you try to do it all? Manage that, balance that, however you want to call it.
Oh, first of all, thank you. And I have to say, I think everyone, mother or father, relates to your question. You said, how do you do it all? I absolutely don't. I spent probably 3 years trying to do it all, and I absolutely burnt myself into the ground. I puttered out. Everything personally was falling apart. I was trying to juggle way too much, wasn't willing to ask for help. It's not that I'm a micromanager or that I'm like not letting people on my team help. It was that personally I felt like I had to keep everything up or else I was failing people. So I have learned that there has to be an acceptance of an ebb and a flow. And my kids are now a bit older, but I did start Mixhers when they were younger. And I think that we've all come a long way with the word balance and knowing there's no such thing. There's seasons. And I have seasons with Mixhers where I have to be all in to pull off an opportunity, all in on a campaign because I'm building something for my family. I am the provider for my family. And because I love my family, I will figure out how to provide and make my business successful. And I have to say, I have had so many of those seasons where my mom guilt is almost like it's nauseating. You miss a basketball game. My kids are older. You sound like you have younger kids, but like you miss a basketball game. You miss a gymnastics meet. You're thinking, how do I prioritize this differently? And then it gets back to you that your kids are, I'm gonna get emotional. It gets back to you that your kids are telling every teacher at their school about what their mom does. And did you know that my mom started this business and her favorite drink is this one, and she drives a pink Jeep, and my mom's so fun. And sometimes my mom comes to the class parties, and it's kind of embarrassing because she dresses in all pink every time she comes, but then you don't show up in pink, and then actually your kids are like, where's the pink, Mom? Your kids are watching so much more than we even know, and they're seeing the good in what you're doing. And for me, it's been clear communication, even from when my kids were littler, about what I'm building. And I bring them to work with me as much as I possibly can. I know that there's some luxury in having my own business, but I have my staff bring their kids to work. I have my kids now work in my warehouse. I have them count sticks. I bring them along on my journey as much as I possibly can. If I'm traveling for work, I tell them exactly what I'm doing and why and what the opportunity is and what I'm hoping it turns into. And my kids are so invested in Mixhers and they care. And I think it's because I've communicated with them that they feel a part of it versus when we have a parent that is creating success in their business, but we don't even understand what our parent does. And so I think being able to share what you're doing, include them, let them be a part of the story as much as you possibly can, I think you're actually shaping their life in the most positive way. and you'll see that. Also embrace the ebb and flow. I've had seasons too where I've told my team, I don't even know what you're gonna do with this thing, but I'm taking 3 months and I don't even know if you'll see me. I don't know what I'll come back to, but can you guys just maintain something? And it's amazing what people do. And I know that not everyone has a team, but it's amazing what people will do if you're trusting them with something that you've built as well.
Can you hear me? Oh, yeah. So I got a question. So let's say you've been in business for 6 years from 2019 to now. So that's what, 6 years? So in that 6 years, let's say you spent a lot of money and time on influencers or whatever, and you got to a certain point, because to me it looks like the product is something that once the consumer likes it, they're repeat business. And so you don't have to advertise to them. So do you get to a point where, let's say you're doing, let's say $10 million a year and you're happy with that, and then you don't have to have new products and you don't have to do more advertising, you're just happy with the current sales?
I have never yet been satisfied with the current sales. Mixhers is a subscription-based business, which I love. And we actually do continue to market to even our subscribers, and we actually invest quite a bit of our marketing dollars into our subscribers because we want them to understand and truly educate them on the long-term benefits of staying with our products. And women are fed different businesses and brands, 6 times a day on social media. So it's so easy to hop from brand to brand. But with Mixhers, we invest actually quite a bit of our marketing spend into retaining our subscribers because their value is so high, so much higher than a one-time purchase for us. And we have about 35,000 subscribers right now on Hertime. And I would rather spend my dollars keeping those 35,000 active Hertime users that have been with me for 6 months, 18 months. I have a woman that has spent $26,000 on Mixhers products in the last 4 years. And I would rather spend my dollars keeping her in the business and obviously feeling the benefits, but also being educated on the benefits than spending $35 trying to bring in a new customer that's gonna spend $50 once. I actually don't know that I answered your question. Not satisfied with growth quite yet. And I actually do invest in maintaining our subscribers and marketing to existing customers.
Jess, you came tonight with the goal of not patting yourself on the back, but teaching us. And I think everybody would agree, there were so many takeaways from tonight. It's amazing. You learned from your lows, not from your highs. And on and on and on. It was really impressive. Let's give it up for Jess Toolson. And she brought the goods. So you have all these adoring fans, but you're about to lose a lot because only 2 people are going to really love you in a minute.
I was like, oh no,
you
what
have
do I
to
do
pick.
now?
You have to
Okay.
pick. All right, here we go. Winners.
Okay, number 1,
Number 1.
Abby Latin.
Abby, where are you? Let's go. Okay. Winner number 2. Congratulations, Abby.
Olivia Oler.
Olivia. All right, Jess, you brought goodies for us. We have goodies for you. So lots of entrepreneurs, everybody out here is an entrepreneur or going to be, following in your footsteps very soon.
And hopefully not doing some of the same things I've done.
Oh, come on. Then they wouldn't have the stories to tell that you told. Come on, those were classic.
I am going to make typos part of my strategy now, though.
I love it. It's brilliant. I'm going to teach it on Monday at BYU. Everybody make typos. And when you do, then pull a Jess. Okay, we're going to call that a Jess from now on. Okay, these are Otishi shoes. We can get them to your size, but Jose and Becca, will you guys raise your hands back there? This husband and wife team own 2 different shoe companies. She has Romp Stomp, he has Otishi. So there's a pair of shoes for you. Alec, I don't see Alec. Alec has 2415. These 2 hats refer to Joshua 24:15. Choose ye this day whom you will serve. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Okay? And then Jason and Meredith. Blue Unicorn protein bars. All right, there you go, Tess. Rooting for your parents. And an iHub shirt. Okay? There you go. So a little something to say thank you for taking your night from your family tonight. We were well fed by your words. Let's give it up for Jess. One last big time.
Say the word and we go. You can be my flica. Girl, I'll be a flico, mamacita. I would never make a promise that I can't keep. I promise that your smile ain't gonna never leave. Shopping sprees in Paris. Everything 24 carats. Take a look in that mirror.